I have just spent a few minutes here going through all of the drawings that are in the other model's manual. That is, the drawings that have to do with running lines and wires and so on. And I have concluded that we have them all on except one. Yeah, surprise, surprise, we finally got here. And that is letter W. Now, letter W fastens into a place that I happened to be looking at yesterday in yesterday's episode, and I was thinking that what a strange place to put a... Well, let's go to the actual model here, and I'll show it to you, and I'll tell you what I was thinking. And when you look at it, you'll probably realize why I was thinking it. Now, when I was working on yesterday's episode, I was looking at this little part here. And the reason I was looking at it is because I was noticing it did not appear to be sprayed as well on this side as it did on this side over here. And then I was wondering, what is that? I guess it's a little ventilator. And I never thought in terms of it was another one of these wire conduit things. Anyway, I have since found it in Stefan's book, and we'll take a look at that. Anyway, before we go to Stefan's book, the wire is supposed to run from the top of here up to this line right here that I'm touching. I'll move in a little bit on this spot right here. Now, I actually remember putting these on months ago. And yeah, I probably referred to them as a ventilator because that's what they look like, but obviously they're not. Anyway, let's go to the line drawing that actually tells us exactly what it is. Okay, here we are, number 14. We're looking straight down now, of course, so it looks all different, but this is it. And here's the one on the other side. Number 14, wire antenna duct. So, yeah, I was right. Early coax. Earlier this morning, my security camera picked up a little rabbit hopping around on the patio, right at my front steps, right where we used to put the carrots all last winter. And I'm thinking, it should know by now that the carrots aren't going there anymore. They're going on the side of the house. I looked out the side window. Carrots are gone. Completely gone. Only a little nibble or two there as any remnants that there ever was a carrot there. Now, you didn't see this, but yesterday when I tried to sweep up the cabbage, I missed a little spot. It just didn't want to go. And I thought, well, we'll just leave that little piece there. What's the difference? That little piece of cabbage is still there. Yep, the rabbits do not like the cabbage. Okay, now back to our Bismarck. But I just knew that some of you would be, wondering about our little woodland friends. Speaking of woodland friends, I wonder if we're going to get any snakes in the yard this summer. But anyway, so I'm wondering, could I break this off and drill a hole down in what appears to be like an insulator? I couldn't find any actual photographs of this thing, but I do believe that in all likelihood the wire that came out of this would have come out of the dead center of the insulator there. That's my opinion anyway. The same as the other one that we did a few days ago. However, I'm afraid that if I try to break this off, it could snap in the wrong place somewhere else. And I know you can't see it from your angle, but it's probably adhered pretty good to the side here. If you remember, it goes down, in, and then down. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to try and maybe just wrap it around a little bit. I'll stick the macro lens on again. Yep, we get snakes here in Winnipeg. Nothing like on my grandparents' farm, though, which was just north of here. Okay, now got some CA. A little bit of CA thin here, just to tack it in place. that should cure pretty quick. Yeah, I couldn't mow the grass up there on the farm without running over a snake. Okay. Now, this one here will obviously go up to our line. Maybe while I've got the macro lens on, that was a good time to try and trim this off. I'll just grab hold of it and stretch it out. Okay. Stretch it out. There we go. So I got curious. Why was it that there were so many snakes at my grandparents' farm? Well, here's that famous place, the Narcisse snake dens. It's world famous. In fact, it's touted to be the world's largest snake den anywhere in the world. Now, I don't know if I'm proud of that or not. It gets deadly cold where this is. I don't know how they survive over the winter, but I guess they do somehow. Anyway, down here on the bottom, you see Winnipeg. And with satellite imagery, I could probably zoom in and we'd see a plastic model of the Bismarck. However, all right, here's Narcisse, and my grandparents' farm was right here, right on the south end of Lake St. Martin. Quite a nice area if you wanted to grow stones. Yeah, it seemed like stones just came up on that farm every year. Little stones about the size of a baseball or maybe a little bigger. Anyway, trillions of them. But enough about the stones. I could do a documentary on that. Anyway, yeah, so here's the Narcisse snake pit. Here's my grandfather's farm. That's why there were so many snakes up there. It wasn't all that far away. And occasionally, one slithers his way down to Winnipeg. Yeah, I've seen them actually in the yard here. Anyway, back to the Bismarck. Now some of you are probably thinking, I don't even know where Canada is, let alone Winnipeg. And Narcisse? Narcisse? I think I'm saying that right. Anyway, you were looking right here. Okay, I thought there's got to be a photograph. Of all the photographs we got of this ship, there's got to be something, and sure enough, there is. Got this one here. I'll zoom in just a little bit. Okay, here's that part with the insulator on the top. Now you'll notice that there's a cable running fastened to the bulkhead here, and it runs all the way out to our special double antenna here. And if you follow the wire all the way along, it appears that it fastens to the outside antenna. So maybe that's the one we'll do, because this is the way it was. Now, the wire would have come out of the insulator and probably made a little bit of a curve here and fastened somewhere about here to that wire. In other words, the other side of these insulators. I'm assuming that's the way it would be. Obviously, they did not have coax cable at that time, or they would have just maybe run the coax all the way up and had it fastened up here. But, they didn't, so at least I'm thinking they didn't. I don't know. Maybe somebody knows for sure. Anyway, that's the way they did it. So now we actually know. Instead of going by a drawing, we're going by an actual photograph. And this is the way it actually was. At least at the time the photographer snapped the shutter. Yeah, I knew that there had to be a photograph somewhere that would depict this. And, okay, if we fasten it onto the inside wire like this somehow, and I'm just wondering if there was another one of these things on the other side, doesn't it make sense to you that there was a wire running out of it to the one over here on this side? This one here? Yeah, that makes sense to me. So I'm probably going to do that. I may not video it, but because it'll be identical to this one here. Now, whereabouts should we go here with this? I will put the macro lens on afterwards. I don't want to have it real tight, because then it's going to have a tendency to pull down on this. I don't know if my little piece of blue tack on the end is going to be helpful or not. I'll just stick it on there and see what happens. Now, this isn't working because of the angles. It keeps wanting to slip back down. I had wanted it to attach more out here, not down here. I'm just wondering, am I maybe going to have to hold this by hand, something like this, and then touch a little bit of CA on there and just hope that it's going to, work out okay. That might be what I'm going to have to do here. I'll use CA thin so it'll adhere real fast. And because the angles are so acute, it's going to make it hard to, cut off the excess. In other words, the part that the tweezer's hanging on to right now. I'll stick on the macro lens and you can laugh right along with me here. Now, I have the manual up on my laptop here, and I just realized that I was making a mistake here, because this was supposed to go over, over the outside one. Okay, yeah, it was supposed to go over the outside antenna, something like this. And once again, not too tight here. Okay, I think we put a little drop of CA right there. That should do it. So, I'm steadying myself against part of the side of the ship here. Yeah, put it right there. Now I can't find my applicator. Well, that's a good thing I can put this video on pause when I'm editing this out here and cut out a lot of the nonsense. Okay, got just a little bit of CA thin right here. Here we go. Well, I don't know. Tony was mentioning he's got a real nifty little pair of nail scissors that work really good, and I'm hoping he's going to tell me, the exact same brand and everything he's got, so that maybe I can order the same thing. Because right now that would probably work pretty good right here. Although I imagine using my system by putting something in behind and pressing down, that'll work too. Not quite as good, but well, it's on. Okay, first I'm just going to use my modified scissors here just to get rid of the wrecking ball. Now, I cannot promise that this is going to work, but I'm sure going to try. I'm going to put something hard in behind here, and then if I can get this to be on the top, wonder if that's the best way to go. No, I'm not comfortable with this. Is it possible to get my modified scissors in there without accidentally cutting the wrong line? See, the thing is, because the scissor is too thick, I can't get the blade right up. So just open it up just a tiny little bit here. Oh, that's not good. I'll try and get this little piece off there. I mean, I can see that with my naked eye. Wonder if I had to maybe come in from the other direction. See, there's the danger of accidentally cutting off this one. I was just noticing that this little wire here is kind of bent. Don't know if I can straighten it or not. That's a little better. Okay, so here's the thing that we want to nip off right here. And I'm using much the same system as we did before when we used the piece of a broken hockey stick or whatever that was. Got a 1/4-inch dowel here. We find a good place to grab onto. We'll try and feed it through like this, and remember those will stretch, so we don't need to worry. Okay. Now I'm probably going to have to lower this. Whoops, careful, Ron. And watch out for our little photo etch on top of the funnel there. I've been pretty good at not bending that. Okay, now closer, 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 closer. Oh, that's lining up almost perfect. Ah, Murphy's Law was with me this time, I think. Okay, now we'll slip on the macro lens. And I've reinforced the end of this with CA glue the same way as I did the hockey stick, so when I poke the blade up against it, it'll be like going into something solid. Yeah, okay, macro lens. Now this little piece that we want to try and remove here, it can't be more than 1 millimeter long. I'm trying to hold the blade so that you don't get your vision blocked. I think that's it. Alright, there we go. That's about as good as we're going to be able to get it. Well, I'm probably going to be doing the other side exactly the same way as I did this side. The only difference is I'll be doing it off camera, and I'll likely be doing it this afternoon while this episode is uploading. So thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.